to the official Sasquatch and Squirrel Show. We're going to talk about gas. No, we're going to talk about, well, I guess you could maybe say crisis actors.
Yeah, sure.
You know, like if it's a thing, if it's not a thing. What do you think, Tim?
I think that, crisis actors are one of those weird, it's a weird conspiracy theory. Now, the actual crisis actor themselves are supposedly people who are plants to kind of sell a story that isn't there. But a lot of the stories actually did happen. Like, for example, that David Hogg character that was the guy who was one of the survivors of a school shooting. I believe it was here in Florida.
It was the Parkland shooting. He's trying to parlay that shit into a political career. He just got destroyed not that long ago by it was at some town hall debate or something like that. And he just got literally annihilated by a Chinese immigrant woman.
Oh, wow. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know Marjorie Taylor Greene was after that boy for a while, but I'm not saying that these people are,
evil.
They may not be crisis actors, but there's a lot of weird shit that happens in the media because as well as I do, the media is there for one thing only, selling the story.
Well, that and also ratings and money and all their ad revenue from big pharma and all that bullshit.
Right, but their main means of it is by selling a story. And, maybe at the time they don't have somebody to, really show the gravity of the situation. So maybe they actually have people there known as crisis actors to sell like the story, or maybe it's just filmed later on, or earlier in the day or earlier in the week or what month or whatever it is to for these kids that want to act, go there, here's $30, fucking act like you're crying,
Maybe. I mean, so I know people that know me probably are tired of me saying this, but I worked at Orlando Regional when the Pulse shooting happened, the nightclub shooting in Orlando.
Right.
And there was people talking about how it was a false flag and it was this and it was that. And I mean, false flag or not, the people still got shot because, there was, I can't go into specifics because of HIPAA and things like that. But,
but you saw the trauma.
Yeah, I did. I there was a few people that were on television that I worked on that day.
Right.
So, or I helped fix or whatever. I don't know how to say it, but, we operated on them.
Yeah.
I mean, I think, like, there's that one girl she was supposed to be at the Boston Marathon bombing. Then she was at the Parkland shooting. And now, so me playing devil's advocate a little bit, I think that it could be, everyone's got a doppelganger,
It could very well be that too.
Because we've talked about that before on the show, about how there's people that, look exactly like you somewhere else, just a different area, So, I mean, it could be the same thing with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's called the human blueprint. It's just like you got some people that look so damn close. And there's even some weird circumstances that actually have people that look the same and even name the same, but their DNA, two different things.
Yeah, exactly.
Crazy shit. You're Arthur Snoticus?
I don't like your tone. All right, listen. I'm allergic to your bullshit, Tim.
Jeez.
God damn it.
Blow them boogies out the damn window, man.
You just leave me alone in my nasal cavities, all right? I've been having a rough time. It's a whopping 52 degrees in Florida right now, so it is a frozen tundra here, all right?
I can just see it now. People end up in New Jersey and New York. They're like, oh my God.
Pussies. You fucking vagina.
I mean, this morning I woke up, it was 35, and I live in Ocala. So it's like, it's fucking cold for Florida, right? Now, granted, the weird thing about Florida that makes it cold is it may be like 9,000 degrees all day long for a week, and then it drops to 35 overnight. You don't have time to prepare for that shit. So, yeah, it gets cold here.
I haven't gone outside today, so.
Yeah.
Don't judge me.
The sun's bright.
I'm not a fan of it. But no. So, I mean, yeah, is the idea of crisis actors a thing? Yeah, because, I mean, obviously it came from somewhere.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense to, I'm not saying they don't 100% exist, but to say that, every tragedy has a crisis actor might be a bit of a stretch as well.
Yeah, indeed. Now, we spoke about Alex Jones on here, and, he got busted big time over the Sandy Hook shit.
Yeah.
And granted, I'm not saying that that didn't happen, but there's some weird shit that happened there. For example, there was this guy that was supposedly a father of one of the children that got shot, or maybe a couple children that got shot.
Right.
And it showed the son of a bitch coming outside of the police station or wherever the hell he was, laughing and cutting up. And then as soon as he got maybe 15 steps to the podium, he started putting on the waterworks.
Right.
I don't see how that shit works. I mean, granted, he could just be an emotional guy. Maybe he had a funny joke, but then to change that quickly, I don't know. It just seems like he was selling it. You know, there's people that are really good fucking actors, and I don't know. That right there was one of them that I'm like, huh. That's when I really started paying attention to it. But they're saying that same girl that was at the Boston Marathon bombing, and also the same girl that was at the other place, Parkland shooting, was supposedly at that area too. And they always kind of show them in the same kind of situation, the same cry stance. You know, they're got their mouth open, they're on the phone, or there's, it's always something like that.
It's almost like a stock image.
Yeah, it's like a staged event, it seems,
100%. Well, there was, I think, Michael Moore, that fat fuck.
Smells like...
He literally smells like depression and fucking shattered dreams. Yeah. But... he was talking about where are the bodies, because apparently there was an issue with and I don't want to get into too deep of water with it because I don't want to get Alex Jones, right. But I can't. I don't have that kind of money. Anyways, but there was something about there was no evidence of bodies apparently.
Yeah.
So because they were trying to get them to produce corpses. I'm like, well, you morbid fuck. I mean, it's kids. I mean,
yeah.
I'm not saying it didn't happen, but I mean, they're also talking about how it's that they should probably think about, at least showing a victim. I'm like, I don't know if I need to see that or not.
No, we don't need to see any of that shit. And there's some people out there that there's this one guy that's demanded that he was gonna go over and just exhume all the bodies and shit like that to be able to have a autopsy done on them. Well, you can't do that shit, Stick, because that's the family that you have to go through. I know all about that stuff. You can't do that. And for somebody to actually threaten the family to do that, they're already going through enough shit as it is, and this dumb wants to come over here and harass somebody because he's a conspiracy theorist, one of these deep crazy motherfucker conspiracy theorists.
Right.
Nothing wrong with questioning things, and I would highly suggest that everybody question everything. Right. But don't be one of these guys that if fucking facts hit you right square in the face, that you're like, no, kind of like that episode that we did on the Flat Earth Society.
Yeah. Well, people were fucking losing it. Well, I think we only got one or two comments on that shit, and it didn't, it wasn't as terrible as it could have been with these idiots. But then again, if we didn't really engage them that much, so
no,
because if you fan the flames on that, you're gonna
have a forest fire big time.
Exactly,
burn up all the trees on this flat ass land.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
And then another thing, just kind of along the same lines of crisis acting. It's you've seen the news, for example, if there was a flood or something like that, you have this news media that's trying to act like she's paddling a canoe. I'm having such a hard time keeping this thing straight. And you see two people just walking through just with galoshes on. It's
right. Oh yeah, that thing that I sent you. Yeah, it's just or the media. Don't get me started here because Florida, we have a lot of hurricanes per, at least, not all the time, but, we go through our cycles and stuff. But one year, one of the news stations here in Florida, Orlando area, actually got caught sawing down tree limbs and stuff like that to make it, just making it look worse than it actually was. It was
staging events and shit.
Yeah, it was trying to get it to be, sensationalize it is what I'm trying to say.
Like that one douche that was over there, on the grass, and he was acting like the wind was blowing him so hard he could barely stand up while two dudes were just walking casually behind him.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. And it's just that kind of stuff. And that's why the media has become a joke and everybody knows it. So, I mean, I wouldn't be, too surprised if there was some sort of, shadow government thing where people are paid to do it. But
yeah,
I don't think the government would be dumb enough to use the same person twice. They would get different people.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to think too. For example, the Columbine shooting was years prior to all these other shootings and like catastrophes and like the Boston Marathon bombing and shit.
I can't believe it. Fucking Columbine's been almost 30 years ago.
I know, right? I mean, that was the one that really stuck out to me because, like, back in the day, you didn't have all that shit, and that was pretty brutal.
It was, and that's the thing is, I mean, those kids.
Then they blame Marilyn Manson on it, and he was just like, you know what, fuck everybody.
Well, they blamed his music, and it was like, because I mean, okay, let's talk about that for a second.
Sure.
That guy had a 1995 contact in his eye, let a bird poop on him, walked around looking stupid, you know, looking like he shopped at Hot Topic. And it's like, who's believing this guy about any of this stupid shtick stuff?
I mean, you got to think. There's two ways in entertainment to really get known. It's either you, A, have to piss people off, or B, you have to make them laugh. There's only two ways to really get known. And what way did he do it? I mean, he scared people with the whole Bible, you know, tearing up thing and trying to be like the quote unquote Antichrist.
Right.
And, you know, that's what his stick was. That's how he got popular. Yeah. So he had wild ass videos and shit like that, you know.
Well, yeah. Apparently
that's what
that
it is.
And that and alleged sexual assault, folks. But anyways, we will move on from that.
Yeah, it could just
you know what's funny about that whole thing though is when those assholes they get caught, the first thing they do is they turn to religion.
Yeah, who knows? I mean,
no, he did. He was, you know, he got accused of sexual assault a few years ago. And next thing you know, he's like hanging out with Kanye West, talking about how great Jesus is, and it's like, okay, you've gone your whole career. But anyways, that's a whole other topic.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you know, it's just like it's kind of along the same topic though, because the fact is you're selling a story.
Mm-hmm.
If you're one of these people that like, all right. Let's talk about the whole, you know, staging sex events and shit like that. People always go to the sex events because the fact that they are easily sellable to the public to make you an asshole without actually having any proof. A person can say that so-and-so did something to him sexually and automatically paints them as the boogeyman or the boogie woman, you know?
Right.
And I really think that right there needs to actually be one of those things that is highly scrutinized. And if they are proven just to be assholes trying to smear somebody, that person needs to go to jail.
Of course, 100%. It was like the thing that happened with Vince McMahon.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that just came out to be complete and utter bullshit.
Yeah.
I haven't read that, but I think you or somebody else told me about it, and that it was...
I was looking at it, and like all these people, especially even people in the wrestling industry, was like going against him. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's just like what they were doing to Trump. I mean, they tried to say that he had some menage a trois with some fucking... just some broke back looking bitches. It's just nasty whores, you know, like, dude, he has Melania and he likes pretty women. What does he want with your skunk looking ass? Nothing.
Right. Yeah.
Or what they did to Kavanaugh, or what they did to all these other people, you know, there were, was it Kavanaugh that they try to say that he, I think it was.
Dude's
bitch couldn't even like,
Yeah. Dude's a devout Catholic, I believe. And, you know, like just your typical Ward Cleaver type guy, you know what I mean?
Right.
And for those people that don't know who Ward Cleaver is, it was an old TV show called Leave It to Beaver back from like the 50s. It was like Super Dad, you know? Mm-hmm. You know, so that's just little history lesson. So anyways, like Columbine, I don't think there was one solid crisis actor or anybody that could be misconstrued as a crisis actor.
I don't think so. I mean, you got to think that all that shit was, I was a kid then, and I'd say that situation right there kind of ruined my school career too, because I used to wear a trench coat all the time, but that's only because a buddy gave it to me, and it was cold in the classrooms all the time. And I'd wear that in the summer and in the winter because it had a little takeout liner. But then I had everybody over here acting like I was the boogeyman after that bullshit, so it's like, fuck me.
Wearing a trench coat. And of course, then there's stigma, then there's all this other crap, and next thing you know, they're pulling you into the principal's office. Is everything okay at home, Tim?
Actually, you know what happened? When I was at the high school, I was at lunch, and I was trying to get up and like throw away my tray.
Right.
And of course, that day they were saying that there was going to be some kind of attack on the school and all that bullshit. So everybody's asshole was puckered tighter than a snare drum. And no joke, I got up and I started to walk towards the trash can, and I had somebody grab me by the arm and said, "Hey man, you're all right?" I was like, "I will be if you motherfuckers will leave me alone."
Yeah.
And no sooner than I said that, everybody in the fucking cafeteria. And this cafeteria is kind of like a raised platform about 3 foot off the ground. You had to go up little stairs to get into it and all. People were jumping over the guardrails to get away from me. And I was like, I've had enough of this shit. Wasn't too long after that I dropped out.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I mean, so Columbine happened after I graduated, so I'm that old.
You old fuck. I think it was my senior year when it happened.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I graduated in '98, a long fucking time ago. And that's the thing, though, is like this whole misdirection and just the lying of the media is where it can get a little bit dodgy at times. You just got to learn to think for yourself. That's it.
These damn stories, man, like, as I said, all they want to do is just sell the story. They don't care if it's true or not.
No, well, why would you let the
numbers.
facts get in the way of a good story?
Yeah, I know, right? I mean, kind of like one of our last episodes on, John Benet Ramsey. Same situation.
Yeah, 100%. But why would the court of public opinion matter?
Shit.
Matter for fucking anything? You know, it's like I've said a couple times on this show before, is that I don't think the general populace should be anywhere near a courtroom, you know, as it pertains to being a juror, because I don't know the law. I don't know, you know, I know the basic amendments of the Constitution.
Yeah.
But I don't, because I don't have, my brain is like a bucket. It only can hold so much information, and the more you put in, some of it falls out.
It reminds me of that. Remember that show, Married with Children?
Exactly.
Yeah. Kelly Bundy was studying for something, but her brain would get full.
It is a Jeopardy thing. Yeah, she was doing it. And I think that's where I stole that from, if I'm being honest. Yeah.
Somebody taught her one thing and then fucked up that one final answer.
Yeah,
screwed
exactly.
them all up.
Yeah, it's exactly what happens. I mean, you know, although I'm not as hot as Kelly Bundy, but you know. So.
Well, no doubt.
That's fucking mean.
I mean,
it says, coming from you, a guy who looks like a hobbit fucked an arter.
I was to say something nice, but now you'd hurt my damn feelings.
Well, fucking, it's the hair, Tim. You gotta get rid of it, brother.
The hair in my nose or my underarms? What is it?
Well, I was gonna say your ass, but you know, I mean, dreadlocks down there, not a good idea, man. Like, at that point, they're just mud flaps.
Mind your damn business.
Sorry. Jesus Christ. No one is ever going to fucking take us seriously.
No.
You know that, right?
And I hope
and
they
nor
don't.
fucking should they. And I hope they don't, because it's a fucking terrible idea.
Pretty much we do this because we got zoomies and need to get it out.
Exactly. There's only so much professionalism that we can have. Then we gotta we have to be something stupid. You know what I mean? So that's okay.
Credibility goes out the window.
Yeah, we're never fucking. You know, we have no need for credibility whatsoever.
No, this is purely opinions. But, back on the topic, though, I mean, I'm not going to say that it doesn't happen. I'm not going to say that these events don't occur that might spur these actions, like crisis actors and such like that. But, for example, you ever seen that time where, especially during political season, you got all these news channels, and all these people sound the fucking same. I don't know where they breed these people at, but all these fucking news anchors, news women, newsmen, they all have the same fucking voice and hairstyle. Have you noticed that?
Well, yeah, it's that, you know, got the. Wasn't there a video a long time ago where it was what were they? There was something that happened, and
everybody was repeating the same shit.
They verbatim. You remember that shit?
Yes, that's what I was getting at. Yeah. You know, and there's a thing called Media Matters, and they own all that shit. They're the ones that dictate that bullshit, which I think Media Matters needs to go away.
Yeah, well,
people need to learn to report the fucking news and not a bunch of satire horse shit, you know?
Correct. Yeah. But then again, I mean, you know, if it wasn't for satire, we wouldn't have shit like The Onion.
Well, I mean, you can have The Onion and shit like that, as long as it's go ahead and label it as satire. You know?
You're not wrong. Yeah, and that wouldn't hurt to say, hey, you know, this is bullshit. We're just, you know, the reality is funnier than The Onion at this point.
I think we need to start our own news agency called BNN, the Bullshit Network News.
Yeah.
BSNN.
BSNN, Bullshit News Network, man.
I'd
and we got to do it then we got to do it in dumb redneck voices.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only way to get it done. We got to get an actual, like a legitimate Florida. I mean, we are Florida now.
Yeah.
I'm kind of an implant, though.
Well, I'm not. You're a transplant, what they're called. Get your lingo right.
Transplant. Yeah. See? Dumbass redneck.
See? Yeah, that's right.
That's that Tennessee right there for you.
Don't know them big fucking words, man.
I know. High school dropout. God damn it. Give me a break. I'm recovering.
Yeah, recovering from Tennesseeisms. You got Tennesseitis or Tennesseeitis or something.
That's what it is.
I mean, fucking stop talking right now.
Please do.
Well, now I'm not, because you hurt my feelings. Okay.
Well, today's a day full of fucking butthurt, ain't it?
It is. So, where can they find us?
Oh, shit. And again, I lost twice in a row.
I mean, you just got to be quicker on the trigger there, McGraw.
Jesus Christ. X.
Your mama's house.
Spotify. All of our mama's house.
That's right.
Everybody's mama's house.
That's right. We just whores out here, man.
That's right. X. Spotify. Oh, shit. Facebook. True Social.
Let's just do this all over again.
I like it. Keep it in.
All right.
Bitch.
Motherfucker.
Follow the questions.
Find the truth.